Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling slightly confused, faintly attacked, but unable to pinpoint exactly what went wrong? Maybe you received a compliment that felt like an insult, or someone agreed to do something only to forget about it later. If so, you've been on the receiving end of passive aggression. This tactic is a silent killer of relationships and a powerful tool of dark psychology. Today, we are unmasking the subtle red flags hidden in everyday talk, exposing passive aggression not as a personality quirk, but as a deliberate form of covert control. Passive aggression is hostility expressed indirectly. Instead of saying, "I'm angry," the person creates a problem that forces you to acknowledge their displeasure. This behavior is fundamentally manipulative because it denies you the ability to have a direct, honest conflict. The goal of the passive-aggressive person is to punish you or get their way while maintaining the image of being pleasant, agreeable, or the victim. A healthy individual owns their emotions. A manipulator disguises their anger as agreement, compliance, or forgetfulness. This makes it impossible to hold them accountable because they can always gaslight you by denying any malicious intent. They can always say, "I didn't mean it that way," or "You're just being too sensitive." This is a key tactic for the narcissist who wants to exert control while protecting their idealized self-image. To help you recognize this behavior immediately and trust your signal, here are 5 subtle red flags that scream passive aggression in action. This is a compliment with a subtle barb designed to undermine your achievement or self-worth. Examples include, "Wow, you look great. You must have finally lost weight." Or, "That presentation was surprisingly good for someone who usually rushes things." The first part seems supportive, but the second part delivers a targeted insult. They deny their hostility, but the sting remains, making you doubt your value. When you ask them what's wrong, they insist, "I'm fine," but their body language, tone, and subsequent behavior scream the opposite. They stonewall you emotionally, using the silence to punish you. This is an extension of the silent treatment, where they refuse to communicate their needs honestly, forcing you to guess and apologize just to end the tension. They are waiting for you to do the emotional labor of fixing their mood. This involves a consistent pattern of deliberate incompetence designed to sabotage a shared task or responsibility they secretly resented. They forget a crucial deadline, they misunderstand the directions, or they always arrive late. They weaponize being unreliable. Because the failure is always framed as an accident, they avoid accountability, and you are forced to step in and clean up the mess. They agree to a request with an exaggerated sigh, an eye roll, or a sarcastic tone, ensuring you know how much they resent having to do it. For example, "Oh, sure, I'd love to clean up your mess again." They technically complied, so you can't officially complain, but they made sure you felt punished and guilty for asking. This creates a deeply toxic cycle where you hesitate to ask for anything in the future. Instead of addressing conflict with you directly, they air their grievances to a third party or gossip about you to others. This triangulation is a form of covert control that undermines your reputation behind your back. They seek validation for their anger and try to turn others against you, all while maintaining plausible deniability. "I was just sharing my feelings." Dealing with a passive-aggressive person requires you to stop playing their indirect game and bring the conversation into the open. Stop accepting the denial. When they give a backhanded compliment or an evasive "fine," gently call out the behavior directly, but neutrally. Say, "I hear you say you're fine, but your tone suggests you're upset. We can talk about it when you're ready to be honest." Focus only on the behavior. If they forget something, don't engage in the emotional spiral. Simply state the factual consequence. The report wasn't sent and the deadline was missed. How will we fix this now? Focus on accountability and the next step, not their motive. Prioritize your self-trust. This tactic thrives on making you question yourself. The moment you feel confusion or subtle hurt, remind yourself, I am not too sensitive. I am experiencing indirect hostility. This simple act of reclaiming your reality is the first step out of the toxic relationship cycle. Passive aggression is a slow poison. It chips away at your peace and your self-worth without ever leaving a visible wound. Recognizing these subtle red flags is vital because your friends, partners, or coworkers shouldn't make you feel drained and confused. You deserve honesty, even if it comes in the form of direct conflict. Which of these 5 signs have you experienced most recently? Share your examples in the comments below. Let's create a community that empowers each other to identify the subtle manipulators. See through the smoke.